So, you're a curly girl with dry and fine textured hair, but you can't seem to get the most hydrating products on the market to work in your curls without weighing them down. Trust me, I understand. A year ago, I got my hands on some super hydrating curly girl products that I could tell were excellent, but no matter what I did, my hair would just turn out a greasy, limp, undefined mess by the time it dried. Until I learned that there's a specific method you must follow if your curls are fine in order to get hydrated, defined, non-greasy curls with heavy products that are designed to lock in moisture. In this video, I am featuring the full Hydro Curl set from Strands Unlimited, a curly girl line from Southern California who reached out to me last year for an honest review of their new products. What I love about this brand is that the owner was very receptive to feedback and even created a product to add to her line after my initial review. All of the products are sulfate, silicone, and paraben free, as well as phthalate and gluten free too. The main ingredients in them are amla and bamboo extracts. They contain pumpkin seed and watercress oils, which help with hair growth and get their delightful scent from the grapefruit and lime essential oils. Click the link below this video if you like what you see so you can get you some, okay? Now, let me first explain how I failed so miserably with these products at first, so you'll know what mistakes to avoid yourself, and then I'll show you my go-to method for making heavy products work in fine hair like mine. And yes, my hair is relatively fine despite the way that it looks. I do not have natural heavy volume, and aside from my middle patch in the back, most of my strands are not very coarse. So let's jump into mistake number one. In my first attempt to use these products, I washed and conditioned my hair with the hydrating shampoo and conditioner supply. I then towel dried my hair, got out the shower, then added the styling cream throughout, using less on the thinner areas of my hair and more in the back. I finger coiled the curls on my crown because I used to always do this since that area tends to get the least definition on its own. And then I proceeded to diffuse. Followed that up with some oil during separation, and boom, my hair looked a hot ass mess. What I learned here was that as amazing as it was to use super hydrating shampoo and conditioner, my hair needed a deeper cleanse ahead of time in order to strip the previous buildup before applying such heavy hydrating products. So on my second attempt, I used a non-hydrating cleansing product, Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Soap to be exact. Followed that up with a moisture cleansing shampoo in the line, and pretty much followed the rest of the steps the same as the first time, except when it came to styling. I used the conditioner in the line on my sides instead of the styling cream. I figured that since it was less weighty and less oily, I might achieve more definition this way. Another thing I did differently was add the oil at this point in the process instead of waiting until the end. And I also used a Denman brush the second time around in the back instead of finger coiling it, just to see if I did that, would it get me more definition without so much work, I guess. And this was the result. A bit more definition, but it still looked more oily than hydrated, like I was just using too much of the product altogether, and the oil looked like it was sitting on top of my hair rather than penetrating deeply to actually hydrate my hair. What I learned here was that I needed a way to use more water during styling while still using enough of the hydrating products to lock in the moisture. What I needed was a gel. So on my third try, I didn't film the process, but I did a couple things differently, and as you can see, I was happy with the results. One of the things I did differently was find a lightweight gel to add on top of the products. In addition to that, I learned how to use the water to product ratio properly, and I did not diffuse. Here's a video talking a little bit more about the details, and then I will show you my updated routine. I just want to say that I am so impressed with how my curls came out this time around. This is my third time using the Strands Unlimited line, and the first time, as you guys saw, it just did not turn out right. Second time, a little bit better, but this time around, much, much better. Curls are defined, soft, fluffy, and this is air dried. So I didn't diffuse, which is the reason why I don't have a lot of volume, but I'm hoping that tomorrow, I'll get some volume. Just by doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I'm super excited because I figured out the formula. And the main thing that I wanted to get across is that if you know what your hair needs, if you know the steps and the process that your hair needs, the reason why it needs it, then you can probably get away with using almost any line of Curly Girl products. You just need to know which items from those lines, from that line, works best for you and how to use that product. And that's what this video is all about. So I'm super excited. Thank you, Strands Unlimited. So a year later, I've been continuing to play with this product line here and there, and the creator has since created her own lightweight gel for people like me. She sent me that gel as well as a small bottle of Maxi Wash shampoo by Kevin Murphy. I guess she didn't want me using the Dr. Bronner's cast style soap anymore. So here's my updated review and hydrating curly routine. Starting out with detangled hair, I'm going to wash with the detoxifying shampoo. After washing a couple of times with the shampoo, I'm going in with the Hydro Curl shampoo. Now, I want to point out how important the washing technique is when going for maximum moisture retention and defined curls. Number one, the cleaner your hair gets, the better. I know it might sound crazy to strip it before adding the moisture back in, but if you continue to add oily products to your lightweight curls, you'll never achieve the definition that you want to achieve on the back end. Your hair will be limp. It'll be dried out ultimately because a bunch of products and dirt and oil have just sat on top of it, preventing actual moisture from being able to penetrate your hair, moisture being water, by the way. And it will look oily, which gives off the signal of hydration, but deep down, it won't actually be hydrated. Number two, the better you detangle before styling, the easier styling will be and the healthier your hair will be with less breakage, which is why it's super important to detangle before you even get in the shower, and why I love this Hydro Curl shampoo, because it is uniquely formulated to cleanse and moisturize at the same time, making it easy to detangle your hair before even getting to the conditioning. This is super helpful because the first shampoo I used sort of stripped my natural oil, so I could not detangle with that shampoo in my hair. Otherwise, I definitely was going to make breakage. Another thing to note in this process is that this is not a deep conditioner. Maximum hydration is usually best achieved with a deep conditioner. But if you don't have one, like I don't have one in this case, following the previous two steps should still help you get a lot of hydration out of your set. So after rinsing out the shampoo, I applied a generous amount of conditioner and let it sit under a cap while I showered. Once I rinsed, I made sure not to rinse out all of the conditioner and to leave my hair wet for styling. I then went in with a tiny amount of Hydro Curl's curl cream and focused it on my back section first while applying the remaining amount to my sides. This is so that all of the hair still receives the benefit of the defining curl cream without the thinner parts of my hair being weighed down. Also, super key. I've learned that wetting my hair along the way and keeping it super drenched with water, especially in these areas like my sides and my front, super important to make sure that I maintain definition. If you notice, if your hair is anything like mine, when your hair is drenched wet, that's when you get to see what your curl pattern actually looks like. The scary thing about it being wet is that if you don't properly apply your products, then when it dries, it'll just be frizzy and all over the place. Well, I've learned how to use water to my benefit by using as much of it as I want and applying the product in along with it. And for some reason, it just creates like this perfect balance of hydration and definition with a little bit of frizz, but not nearly as much as if I didn't use as much water. Now, while it's still wet, I go in with the curl gel and apply a thin layer on top of my entire head. I add a bit more throughout the layers in the back to help with definition, brush it through again, and then gently squeeze some of the water out at the tips. Instead of diffusing, I now wait an entire day while my hair air dries. And would you look at that? Now I'm fully aware that my curls are not perfect, but compared to the first time around, I'm super proud of this outcome, especially with products like this. And while this took a bit more attention to detail, took a little bit more time because I had to air dry instead of diffuse, I'm super glad that I at least have this technique on hand for when I need it, especially in the fall and winter. Now, after my hair is fully dry, I go in with just a little bit of the control oil and gently separate the strands to help with volume. I love this oil because it is super lightweight and versatile, so I actually use it on my body too. And if I manage my hair well by wrapping it at night, rehydrating the dry pieces with bits of water and curl cream throughout the week, and I'm super careful not to run my fingers throughout it much, I'm usually able to keep my curls styled like this for 3 to 4 days. But it remains healthy and hydrated week in and week out because that's what these products are designed to do. All in all, in this process, I learned that it is important to give your products a few good tries before throwing them out if you want to make the most of your investment. You might learn, like I did, that it's not always the product's fault. It could be your method. I hope you learned something new in this video. Thank you so much for subscribing, for sharing, for commenting, asking any questions that you may have below. Remember to be you, love you, make it all beautiful, and I will see you or you will see me in the next video.